Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now before we start this what if, I have to discuss the problem that many people had, which is that Shenron can't revive people who've been dead for over a year. And I don't think that's necessarily true. In the Frieza saga, Kami tells King Kai that if you want to bring back everyone whom those two killed, I'm afraid it would be limited to those who died in the past year, which is referencing Vegeta and Nappa's victims. Now, that in itself reveals that Vegeta and Nappa have killed so many people during the course of their lives that Shenron will only be able to bring back the people that the two killed in the past year. So, for example, if you wish for everybody by Frieza to be revived, it wouldn't work since so many people have been killed by Frieza. But if you wish for one singular group, such as the Saiyans, to be revived, it wouldn't be as vast of a wish as bring back everybody, so I believe it could be done. And using Frieza as an example again, he was dead for around 15ish years and then brought back by Earth Shenron, which proves that this can be done. Basically, I had the Saiyans revived since it seemed like it could be possible, and also create an interesting story. Now, if anybody is infuriated with me for Goku being able to bring back the Saiyans, I'm sorry. That's just what we're going to be doing in this story. If you want to see a story about Goku remembering his heritage, and not bringing the Saiyans back to life, check out Kaizen Ball's What If Grandpa Gohan Got Through the Goku video, where I'm sure you'll find more of what you're looking for there. Now, let's get back to the what if. Bardock, his sons, along with Vegeta and Nappa, train together in the gravity ship on their way to find Frieza. Bardock remembers certain coordinates to one of Frieza's major strongholds, and if they show up there, then maybe they can lure Frieza in and be able to take him out. While training, Kakarot asks his father if they really can defeat Frieza, and Bardock just smiles to his son and pats him on the head. He tells him that with all the training that they've done, and with everybody working together, Frieza won't be a match, and the Saiyans will finally be free to do as they please. Kakarot is excited, since he still has his love for fighting strong opponents, and even though this is a very serious threat, he just can't help but feel excited. Eventually, the Saiyans land on Frieza's capital, and are immediately surrounded by Frieza's soldiers, demanding that the intruders reveal themselves. All of the Saiyans rush out and immediately wipe the floor with all the soldiers, and demand to know where Frieza is. After making a large commotion, the group are immediately stopped by the Ginyu force, who just so happen to be resting on the planet. Vegeta is happy to see them, since he believes that now he can finally show them who the top dog really is. Vegeta gets cocky and tells the others to go find Frieza, as he has a score to settle with the Ginyu force. Bardock and the others head off, and Vegeta begins his battle with the Ginyu force. Vegeta instantly takes out Guldo, since he knows how dangerous his abilities are, and he shows off his new speed to Burter, knocking him around and bragging that he is now the fastest in the universe. Burter is infuriated and rushes Vegeta without thinking, and Vegeta sidesteps easily and blasts Burter right into Jace, killing both of them. Recoome unleashes his full power eraser gun, and Vegeta takes it head on and laughs. Is this all that the mighty Ginyu force has to offer? I'm disappointed. And he appears right behind Recoome, ready to finish him off. But Ginyu catches Vegeta in time, and begins to fight him himself. Vegeta is surprised that Ginyu can keep up with him, and Ginyu outpaces Vegeta and gains the upper hand. Vegeta is angry with himself that he has to resort to this power already, and he transforms into the wrathful form, and Ginyu is no match. Vegeta in this state is around 800,000, with Ginyu's 120,000 paling in comparison. After touring with Ginyu, Ginyu tells Vegeta he's sorry for picking a fight with him, and maybe they can work together to go take out Frieza? Vegeta laughs at Ginyu. A mighty captain of the Ginyu force begging for mercy? That's something I never expected. Change! In the middle of his monologue, Vegeta and Ginyu swap bodies. Ginyu laughs and then knocks away Vegeta, and claims that now the other Saiyans don't stand a chance. Bardock and the others tear their way through more of Frieza's men, trying to find him, until Frieza's ship suddenly looms overhead, and more waves of soldiers come flying out. Nappa has gotten tired of fighting, and puts up his two fingers, obliterating the city, and all of the soldiers around them. The two remaining soldiers, Zarbon and Dodoria, begin to approach, the last obstacle before Frieza. Bardock gets ready to engage, but Raditz tells him to go and find Frieza, as he and Kakarot will stay behind, and handle the two. Bardock looks at his sons unsure, as he remembers what Dodoria did to his crew all those years ago. But the Saiyan brothers just smile at their father, and tell him that they can handle this. Bardock feels pride in his two boys, and goes to depart with Nappa, as Kakarot and Raditz engage Zarbon and Dodoria. Dodoria jokes on how these two little boys are only in the 10,000s range, and how their father is an idiot for thinking that these two tykes can handle them. Kakarot and Raditz just smile to each other and transform to their wrathful states, and begin to wipe the floor with the two. The Saiyan brothers fight in sync, unleashing combos left and right, and severely cripple Zarbon before he even gets to transform. The two then fly up high into the sky, and unleash a sibling double Sunday, completely obliterating Zarbon and Dodoria. Meanwhile, Bardock and Nappa make their way to Frieza. The moment Bardock sets his sight on the tyrant, his blood boils. This is the man who forced their people into slavery. This is the man who killed their entire race, just because he read one too many fairy tales. And now, here this man is, just casually watching his own soldiers die, and he's laughing. Frieza! Bardock screams and blasts himself towards Frieza, and lands a heavy blow across Frieza's face, sending him flying. Frieza gets back up, and has no time to counter against Bardock's countless blows. Eventually, Frieza manages to get an opening, and instantly transforms into his second form, and is able to get the upper hand on Bardock. Bardock didn't know Frieza could transform, and is extremely thankful that Kakarot discovered the Wrathful form, otherwise, they wouldn't have had a chance. Wrathful Bardock is able to knock Frieza around with no difficulty, and Frieza knows that this power is too much for him, and he needs to transform right away. So Frieza explodes, and emerges smaller than he was before. Bardock and Nappa laugh at Frieza's size, but in a blink of an eye, Nappa has a death beam right through his chest, and he falls, critically injured. Bardock is shocked and rushes Frieza, and at this stage, Bardock is about equal to Goku during his fight with Frieza in canon, and although he can't die in one blow, Frieza's just toying with him, and enjoying torturing this monkey scum who dared fight against him. As Bardock is knocked around, Kakarot and Raditz enter the ship and aren't happy about their dad being beaten around, and they rush Frieza. Of course, these two in their wrathful states are only around 100,000, and a non-level threat to Frieza. Frieza turns his attention on these two boys, and begins severely beating down on them. Frieza tells Bardock he was a fool for allowing these two weaklings to come here, and it'll be the last mistake he's ever going to make. Kakarot uses his rock-paper-scissors move, and jabs Frieza's eyes, to get him to let go of them. Frieza yells in pain, and while he's distracted, Raditz rushes over to Bardock and gives him a Senzu Bean. Bardock then jumps to 600,000 in his base form, but before he can stand up, Frieza regains his eyesight and looks over towards Kakarot, and fires a death beam through his heart. Bardock and Raditz stare in horror as the light fades from Kakarot's eyes, and his body collapses, lifeless to the ground. 2 down, 2 to go, Frieza laughs to himself, and turns towards Bardock, and sees a completely different man. Bardock is shaking furiously, and his aura begins to grow golden, and suddenly, his hair turns golden too, and he becomes a Super Saiyan. Everybody is shocked, and Bardock tells Raditz to take Nappa and leave, as he'll deal with Frieza, and he doesn't want Raditz to get in the way. Raditz is terrified over what just happened to his father, and he complies. Bardock rushes Frieza, and the two engage in a huge clash. Except, this form is weaker than Frieza thought it was. You see, Bardock's base form is way weaker than Goku's was in canon, and even with the 50 times multiplier, he's still much weaker than 100% Frieza. And Bardock wouldn't be able to combine the Super Saiyan form with his wrathful state at this point either, as the strain would most likely kill him. As Raditz is escaping with Nappa, Vegeta appears in front of them, and Raditz tells him that his dad may have just transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan, and he is currently wiping the floor with Frieza. Ginyu would obviously be shocked to learn about the Super Saiyan, but realizes that this may be an opportunity to get even stronger, and he tells Raditz that he's going to go and see if he can help out Bardock, while the other two leave. But once Raditz has his back turned, Ginyu fires a blast at Raditz's back, which sends the two of them flying and knocks Raditz unconscious. Ginyu rushes into the ship and sees Bardock beaten badly, Frieza laughing over him. Ginyu tells Frieza that it's him and he managed to steal Vegeta's body, and he asks if he can also take this Saiyan's body as well, so Frieza can have a Super Saiyan working under him. Frieza knows that Ginyu will be loyal to him completely, even in the Super Saiyan form, so he allows it. Bardock curses himself for being far too weak, even in the Super Saiyan state. He only hopes now that Raditz will manage to get back to Earth, and learn the Super Saiyan for himself, and avenge himself and Kakarot. Ginyu switches bodies with Bardock, and immediately, Frieza kills Bardock in Vegeta's body. Frieza, Ginyu, and Raccoon then search the planet for the bodies of Raditz and Nappa, but find nothing. They must be hiding. So, the three get in Frieza's ship, launch themselves up, and Frieza blows up the planet, along with everybody on it. Luckily though, Vegeta woke up earlier and managed to find the bodies of Raditz and Nappa, so he took them and brought them inside the ship and set a course back for Earth. Unfortunately, Nappa had succumbed to his injuries and died, but Vegeta managed to give Raditz a senzu bean and wake him up. Raditz almost attacks Vegeta, but Vegeta tells him that it's still him, but Ginyu managed to steal his body. Raditz then realizes that when he saw Vegeta earlier, that it must have been Ginyu, and that's why he got knocked out. Suddenly, the gravity of the situation hits Raditz. Even in a Super Saiyan state, Bardock still fell to Frieza. He was finally reunited with his father and brother, and they were taken away again so soon. And his two friends, Vegeta and Nappa, are gone as well. Well, Vegeta is technically still here, but he no longer has his body, and it's not exactly the same in Raditz's eyes. Instead of getting angry, Raditz just collapses and sobs uncontrollably, while Vegeta just watches, not knowing exactly what they can do now, in hopes that maybe they can find the answers back on Earth. And that's where we're going to leave it right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to stick around for part 3. So, till we meet again guys, see you later!